Hey guys, Mr. Graves here for the last video for Unit 10. This is one is about compound interest. This is for those of us especially who like to take money and grow our money. So if you like to invest, this is really, really good stuff. The formula that I'm going to use for compound interest, sure I picked the right one, is going to, well, ideally you would use this formula. A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus R. Oops. I believe it's going to be R divided by N and T. There we go. So that's the one that I would use, right? So, for instance, on number one here, we have Brenda, who is principal amount. So I know her principal amount she has is going to be the 4,848 in her savings account. She has a rate of 5%. Remember, and then I'm going to do 5 divided by 100 because that's the percent, and that's going to be 0.05. Her time is going to be 6 years. And her N, excuse me, sorry. Her N is going to be, she compounds it twice a year, right? So it's going to be 2. I'm going to plug all this into my formula. And I want to know what would be her account balance after 6 years. So A is going to equal 4,848 times 1 plus 0.05 divided by 2, and then you do 2 times 6. So the A is going to be 4,800. So 4,000, sorry, 4,848. Man, I really, really wish my hands could let me write the way I used to write. Because that's what happens when you get older. To go into surgery soon. So this is going to be where's my calculator? So if I do 0.05 divided by 2, then add 1 to that is going to be 1.025 raised up to the 12th power. So let me see what my final answer is going to be. 48 times 1.025 raised up to the 12th power is going to be, look at what happens to his money. It now becomes 6,520 and 22 cents. Not bad after 6 years. So his money grew basically definitely more than $1,000. And he didn't have to do anything to make that extra money. So I think that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Then on the second one, number 2, Leah, I think Leah, whatever, takes $8,333. So I know that's her principal. Oops. 8,333. Her rate is going to be the 8%. So I'm going to do 8 divided by 100, which is going to be 0.08. It's compounded 2 times a year, so N is going to be 2. And they want to know what is the balance after 12 years. So T is going to be 12. Now, I'm put all this in my formula right there. So A is going to equal 8,333 times 1 plus 0.08 divided by 2. Should go ahead and make that better. 2, there we go. And then 2 times 12. So what I get. If I take 0.08 divided by 2, then I add 1 to it, I get 1.04. So I have 8,333 times 1 point, times 1.04 raised up to the 24th power. And let me see what I get. 8,333 times 1.04 raised up to 24th power. Oops, wrong one. And oh, wow, that's good. He's going to end up making $21,360 in his bank account in 12 years. That means his money almost tripled. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If I had money like that, would I still be teaching? Who knows? All right, let me see what number three. So number three here, now it's a little bit different. It said it's compounded continuously. So if it's compounded continuously, I cannot use the same formula I used there. I have to use this one. P is equals to ERT. Oh, no, not P. I'm sorry. I wrote the wrong letter. I meant to say A. A is equal to PERT. Right? Now, E is just a logarithm. It's what is it exactly equal to? Let me see. And I wrote it out before. Oops. Let me see. I think I did it before. Yeah, I did. E to the first power. So E is approximately 2.71, right? So that's one of those irrational long numbers. But either way, I know for number three, my principal amount is going to be 2,658. I know the rate is going to be 9%, which is going to be 0.09. I know the time is going to be 15 years. And that's all I need to solve this problem, right? So A is going to be 2658 times E, whatever E is, times the rate, which is 0.09, times 15. So let's see what A gives us. 2658 times E times 0.09 times 15. And that gives us, look at that, because it keeps on being compounded continuously. His money quadrupled to 9,754 and 1 cent. I think that's pretty cool. That Jasmine took that money. That's why a lot of times we tell you guys, when you deposit money in your bank account, don't touch it. Especially if it's a bank account that's going to keep on growing. The same thing here on number four is compounded continuously as well. So I'm going to use the same formula I did for number three. A is equal to PERT. I call it the PERT formula. So my principal amount that I invested is 6,154. The rate is going to be 8%, which is going to be 0.08. Remember, I just take the rate and divide it by 100 because it's a percent. And I know my time is going to be 10. So I'm going to put all this in my formula. So A is going to be 6154 times E times 0.08 times 10. Oops. Let me erase that. That's what I get. So it's going to be 6154 times E. I don't know what just happened with my radio. It was off like a minute or two. Then it just came back on. Whatever. Times 10. Wow, look at this one. This one definitely more than doubled. Is 13,382.6 or 60. There we go. Pretty good stuff. So Maria took that over $6,000 and just made him go way, way bigger. Good for Maria. Hopefully she can share that money with me as well. Oops. Number five, Ryan takes money himself in a savings account and has a fixed interest rate and is compounded 12 times a year. That's very important. So I know the fact that my P, Ryan took what, 12? Ooh, now it's harder. Oh gosh. Okay, so I don't know the principal, but I know the amount of money he has left. He ended up with 12,855. I don't know what my P is at all. However, I do know my rate is 4.31. If I divide that number by 100, it's going to be 0.0431. And I believe it was compounded 10 years, so T equals 10. T equals 10. So I know, write my formula down. A is equal to P1 plus R divided by N and T. So I know I'm going to be looking at 12,855 is equals to P1 plus the rate is 0.0431 divided by N. What's the N equal to? N was equal to 12. Oh, I forgot about that one. Divide by 12, and then I do 12 times 10. So I'm going to have 12,000. Let me move this all the way up so I have more space. 855 is equal to P1 plus 0.43 divided by 12. Four, three, one. That's my fault. I forgot the 1 divided by 12. Here we go. Plus 1. So it's going to be 1.00359 raised up to the 120th power. So when I take that number and raise it up to the 120th power, I get P times 1.53761, then 12,855. I'm going to divide both 12,855 divided by that number. 1.53761. I'm going to divide that on both sides. So let's see what my P is going to equal. So I'm going to do 12,855.94. I forgot the 0.94. That's my fault. Why did I forget the 94 cents? That's very important. Every penny counts, right? Divided by 1.53761. So that means she started off with $8,360.99. So that's not bad. It took her how long to go this 10 years? Now, if you notice, because the interest rate was pretty low at 4.3%, imagine if it was higher. Like, for instance, when we look at number 6 here, they're asking for what is the initial investment amount. Well, we know that the balance, the A, is the 5,485.85 cents. Her rate is 4.61. Again, divide that by 100, and I get 0.0461 as the rate. The time is going to be 6, and the N, because it says compounded 3 times a year, so it's going to be 3. I'm going to write my formula down. I'll do it over here on the side. Excuse me. A, P1 plus R divided by N and T. So we're looking at the amount, the A, 5,485.85. equals the P, which I don't know. Remember, I don't know what the P is. I don't know what the initial investment amount is. That'll be 1 plus the rate, which is 0.0461 divided by the N, which is 3, and that'll be 3 times 6. So 5,485.85 is equals to. Now let me see what is 1 plus. So what that gives me. Use my calculator. 0.0461 divided by 3 plus 1 is going to be 1.01537 raised up to the 18th power, because 3 times 6 is 18. If I raise that up to the 18th power, I'm going to have 5,485.85. Oops. Right, P parentheses 1.31587. Now I want to divide both sides by 1.31587 to find my P. So what my P is equal to? Let's see what my P is equal to. So I'm going to do 5,485.85 divided by 1.31587. And she started off, this is quite reasonable, $4,168.99. That's pretty good. She grew her money by at least $2,000, right? About $1,000. Yeah, about $1,000. It's not bad. Of course, if the interest rate was higher and she compounded it more, she may have made more money. Let me see what I have to do on the second page of this assignment. Oh my gosh, there's more. Of course, there's more. It's never that easy, is it? Okay, so this one here, number 7. Because it says it's compounded. Let me get this right. There we go. My finger is not what it used to be, huh? There we go. So because again, it says it's compounded, what's the amount of the initial investment? So compounded continuously. Lets me know I got it. When I use that, see that word continuously, I got to use this formula. A is equal to PERT. So my A is 1,912.41. My P, I don't know what my P is. I know my rate is going to be 2.63. So if I divide that number by 100, I'm going to do 0.0263. And let me see what my N is equal to. N is going to equal, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't have an N. That's right, I don't have an N. But I do have a T. Sorry about that. I do have a T though. I know my time is going to be 15. So thankfully I have everything I need to find my answer. I'm going to do 1,912.41 equals P E 0.0263 times 15, right? The time is 15, good. So let's see what I get. Let's do E times 0.0263 times 15, and that gives me P times 1.07236 is equals to 1,091. Oops. Give myself more space. 912.41. I'm going to divide both sides by 1.07236. This is what P is equal to. So 1,912.41 divided by 1.07236. Man, that's bad. This guy's only invested 1,783 and 37 cents. That's pretty bad. So his money barely grew, like what, maybe barely $150 at most. Jeez, that's bad. So you guys learn, the more you put in, the more you get, right? Make sure your interest rate's high. Make sure that you compound it a lot, and make sure that you do it over a short period of time too. If you can, use a credit union when you invest your money. Okay, the same thing again. It's compounded continuously. So because of that, I know that I'm going to use this formula. PERT is equal to A. So I already have my A. What's the my account balance? 14,037.16. That's how much you started off with. My rate is going to be 6.79. Again, divided by 100 is going to be 0.0679. And the time is 20 years. So I'm going to go ahead and solve my answer. 14,037.16 is equal to P E, the rate times 0.0679 times 20. So let's see what I get when I multiply E times 0.0679 times 20. So that means it's going to be P times 3.69143. So 04 is equals to 14,037.16. If I divide both of these by the 3.69143, I'm going to get my answer. Oops. So what my P get is my what amount of money did she start off with? So I'm going to do 14,037.16 divided by 3.69143. Dude, that's good. He started off with $3,802.63, and he grew that to $14,000. That means his money more than tripled. Fantastic job. Unjolly did a great job there. Great job there. All right, now moving on to number 9. I'm almost done with this. Again, compounded, the same thing. It compounds continuously. And they want to know, what is the interest rate. So it looks like we have both an A and a P here. So remember, formula A equals PERT, right? So my A is going to be the amount of money he ends up with, which is 8,624.97. He starts off investing $6,139. We don't know what the rate is, right? But we know that the time was 17 years. So I'm going to plug all this into my formula. So it's going to be 8,624.97 is equal to 6,139 times R times E times, in fact, you know what, I screwed that up. I should do times E times R times 17. So let me do E times 6,000. Let me do it here. 6,139 times E. They're playing bad music again. What else is new on the radio? Well, that's a lot of money. It's going to be 2,283, 688 R equals 8,624.97. So I'm going to divide both of them by 283,688 on both sides. So let's see what R gives us. 8,624.97 divided by 283,688. And that is literally 0.03043. Now, if I multiply that by 100, that means my final answer is going to be 3.0403%. That's not bad. Imagine if his interest rate was higher, he would have making a whole lot more money. He'd be literally raking all that money to the bank. Whatever. I don't know why. I don't care. Just posting nonsense. All right, so here, again, it's compounded continuously. So I know I'm going to use this formula A because PERT, where A, the amount of money he ends up with is 21,337.85. His principal is what he starts off with, which is 8,589. We do have a rate here of 7%. So that's going to be 7 divided by 100, which is going to be 0.07. And the time, which is the one we're trying to find out because it says how long, I don't know. Thankfully, we have all we need to find this answer. A equals, okay, well, sorry, there we go. 21,337. Yeah. 89, that's the P, times E, times 0.07, times the T, which I don't know what the T is, right? So when I multiply all of these numbers, let me see what I get. 85, 89 times E times 0.07 is going to leave me with, that's not a lot, is it? It's going to be 1,634.31 times T equals 21,337.85. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 1,634.31. And it's going to be a long number. Because that makes sense, right? Because if your principal was a little over $8,000 and it grew to be $21,000, that means you had to invest it over a long period of time. 634.31, I believe. Sure, that's right. Yeah, 31. Yeah. So let's see what my time is going to give me. 21,337.85 divided by 1634.31. Ooh, that's pretty good. Took him 13 years about 0.0562, which is about 13 years. And that is the video, guys. Ooh, I'm tired. Um, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, you guys know you can always email me or text me. My office number is 512-737-3840. And I wish you guys a great weekend. Hope you guys do well on your rest of your classes. Okay, take care. Bye.